Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday interview. I am interviewing my buddy from Canada, Doren Aldana. What's
Woo,
up,
woo,
Doren?
woo, woo. I'm better than good, better than most, brother. Good to be
Good,
here.
man. Well, I love your energy, man. Every time I've interviewed you, you just bring a lot of happiness, joy, and excitement. And then just watching you on social, man, you rock. You know, your Facebook group is one of the top Facebook groups in the mortgage space. So congratulations to that.
Thank you.
Why don't I got some things I want to open up with and share and remind people about. But before we do that, just so everybody knows who you are, give us a little bit of, backstory where you're at and what you do.
Sure. Well, first off, thanks for having me, brother. It's always a delight and a pleasure to work alongside you to serve this community. And as you know, both of us are suckers for punishment. We've been in this game for a while, not our first rodeo, and I'm certainly no exception. 15 years in the game, coaching mortgage pros. Started out just a Joe Schmo generalist, working with anyone with the pulse who could fog a mirror, who would, ask for coaching, need coaching, want coaching. I was working with entrepreneurs, salespeople, and it didn't take long to realize that if I don't learn this marketing thing, I'm going to have skinny kids. So I started to study marketing, and that morphed into working with a mortgage professional. Just blew it up using my stuff. Went to multiple, deep six figures, then on to seven figures. And he kind of gave me the nudge, say, dude, you need to be helping more mortgage pros. There's a lot of people who could use your help. That was 15 years ago. And we've been growing and going ever since. So, I'm a serial entrepreneur like yourself, certified, bona fide, qualified, unemployable, not mentally fit to work for anybody. I'm a dad, I'm a husband. I got four beautiful kids. So, needless to say that sucker for punishment status goes beyond just being an entrepreneur on the front lines of capitalism with four kids, no short of challenges and tribulations, but a ton of fun. And I just love helping people create breakthroughs. So that's what I've been doing for 15 years and been loving it.
Love that. And you have a Facebook group. What is your Facebook group, and what are the topics that run in there?
Yeah, so it's the art of mortgage marketing. It started out from scratch about a year and a half ago. We're just shy of 12,000 mortgage professionals right now, both from US and Canada. People say, well, mortgage marketing, it's not really an art, it's a science. In fact, it's both, the storytelling of marketing and getting people's fascination and attention is the art side of things. And of course, tracking metrics and statistics and split testing and all that kind of stuff is the science side of things. So we cover all that and more in that group. We cover anything between getting more database marketing cranking with repeat and referral business from your existing database of prospects, clients, and realtors, to attracting more top producing real estate agents without the hell of cold calling, to social media marketing, to online marketing, to everything in between. So we cover the full gamut.
Love it. So guys, it's a badass group. Check
Yeah.
it out. And if you have questions for Doran throughout this next 15 minutes, post them in Facebook or post them in Zoom. So I'm just going to show my screen real quick. We're going to just, go face-to-face, live interview for most of this call. But a couple things I just wanted to draw everybody's attention to in the Mortgage Coach Facebook group. One, if you haven't watched the interview with Simon Sinek, absolutely one of my all-time favorite interviews.
That guy's brilliant.
Oh, dude, he's crazy, And during the interview, he told a story about how he did his personal loan with I'm not going to name the big bank loan officer, and he went to say why he would never do business with that loan officer again. Of course, I love this quote. He's like, I would have literally, now that I know about Mortgage Coach, and by the way, the only reason he did the interview with us is because he really loved our mission. But I would ask the loan officer, hey, do you use Mortgage Coach? And if they wouldn't, I wouldn't do business with them. So check out that interview. There's a link in comments, and it's our Facebook group. I wanted to also shine a light on just a few announcements. These things come and go. But if you haven't watched this interview with Shannon O'Hare, check it out. I mean, super fun interview. Not interview. This is like a 20-second rant. And the thing I love about it is here's a top mortgage professional, and she's integrating what she does for hobby and life and how she serves clients. So to me, this is just great marketing. Follow her on Instagram. I'm going to be interviewing her later on today. I just wanted to make sure the community went through and checked that out because I'll let you check it out. Obviously, Doren, love to get a comment, but I think it's just fabulous marketing and
Yes.
personal brand building. Last but not least, I wanted to make sure everybody read the article I posted last week. I think I posted on Wednesday or Thursday. And this is just all of our best videos from 2018. I literally ranked by how many views they got, 1 through 12. And then I did put a bunch of other videos that, some of them were done last year, some of them were done a couple years, but they just, some of the all-time best mortgage coach interviews. So check that out. Also, I wanted to shine a light on the fact that our marketing team just finished a mortgage strategy page. You could get to that by going to member services and going to mortgage coach strategies. And this is just educational. Like, we believe that the best loan officers need to be great advisors. And that means you need to learn how to play chess, not just play checkers. So we've got just a host of strategies. Each one of them, think of it as just a class where you get to see an interview that I did with someone. You get to see a sample total cost analysis. You can start building your skills as an advisor. So guys, check it out. Doren, when we did the last interview, I think I know I posted on social. As you can see, it's got, over 1,300 views. I got a lot of great feedback. That's why you're back, brother. We talked about how to double your referrals from past clients and realtors. So that was the topic last interview. I know when I reached out to you and we put this interview together, you said, Dave, it's all about consistency. So you really picked the topic today. So why don't we start with why are we going to talk about consistency and why today's topic?
Well, you're a prime example of the power of consistency to kick things off with. I mean, you've been in the game a long time, but you don't just hawk software. As brilliant as the Mortgage Coach software is, what makes you guys a preeminent, dominant force in the category that you own is because of the kick-ass value you deliver to the audience time and time again, consistently. And see, you're a prime example of the power of bringing that consistency in top quality content and being an advocate for your audience, being an advocate for the community you serve. And I think every mortgage professional can take your leadership and your example and learn a ton from it. And that's really the biggest complaint I hear from mortgage professionals is my income goes up, it goes down. It's feast or famine. I have a few killer months in April, May, June, and then it drops like a rock and I'm struggling and I'm worrying where my next deal is going to come from. And chances are people listening, watching, that's their challenge as well. They're having a hard time maintaining consistency in flat line, let alone consistency in growth. And your example and the example of top producers throughout US and Canada will show a golden thread woven in their rituals, their routines, their habits, and that's consistency in just a few things that really push the needle on profit and performance. And I think if our audience today can pull a few of those nuggets and integrate and implement those into their life and their routine and their daily habits, it'll make a massive difference in their income, in their peace of mind, in their freedom, and ultimately be able to earn the kind of money they want to earn and provide for their family at the level their family deserves to be provided for. So that's why we're talking about consistency today.
I love that. So I want you to go next to what are some of the things that you think we need to be more consistent at. But before you do your rant and do your leadership on that, I want everybody on this call to think about, what you should be doing in a consistent basis, but you're not doing it consistently. And I'm not going to lead you right now. I mean, I'm tempted to just start naming the things that we all know that loan officers don't do consistently enough. Yeah. But guys, let us know, in a minute, we'll come back and we'll read some of those thoughts. But if you're in Facebook, put it in the comments down below. If you're in Zoom right now and you want to put that I need to be more consistent at blank. Let us know what you need to be consistent at that you're not doing. And why don't you start? Why don't you start with what are the things that you think everybody needs to be more consistent at?
Well, first off, let's praise the progress and just reaffirm and confirm for everybody and remind everybody that we're all consistent. Let me repeat, we are all consistent. The reason why some of us make 50K a year and the others make 500K a year or 5 million a year is the difference in what we're consistent with. And so what we need to do is, first of all, affirm and confirm within ourselves that we're already consistent. We're already creatures of habit. We're creatures of habit force. And if we want to make 2019 our best year yet, it's not going to be any difference in our proclivity and tendency to be consistent. We're already gravitationally pulled towards being consistent. It's called habit force. The difference that's going to make a difference for you and for I is how we're able to stack habits of high productivity one upon the other. Rarely will the quality of our results exceed the quality of our daily routines. So we're already consistent. If you're not making as much money as you'd like, it's because you're being consistent with the trivial many instead of the vital few. And so all it takes is just adding one habit, let alone 2 or 3, just one habit where you're consistently doing high value, high productivity activities, because we fall into delusion thinking we're busy when really we're just being busy but not productive. And those are 2 very different things. So for example, we're consistent many times in surfing the web, on surfing our newsfeed on Facebook, on checking email, on taking any inbound call, any inbound text, any inbound Facebook Messenger, anything that comes at us. And we're kind of like crack addicted rats, you know, we're waiting for that affirmation that we're valuable. We're waiting for that need to be busy and be wanted and be needed, but we're constantly in reactive mode. And we're easily sucked into the vortex of putting out fires and working on operations and dealing with the trivial many. And oftentimes it's necessity stuff like getting a deal done. But what we don't realize is just getting the deals done does not push the needle on growth. Getting the deals done and pushing paper and finding a home for the loan and processing and all that stuff, that's just maintaining operations. What pushes the needle on profit and performance is high value activities. It's the vital few as opposed to the trivial many. So the $1 million question is, what are those vital few activities? And invariably what we fall into is thinking that we're doing high value activities when we're not. So for example, most people think, and most people are taught in this business, that the high value activity is to cold call realtors. And rarely are we taught all the different ways that that's a complete waste of time. We know intuitively it is, because we'll smile and endow 40 realtors every Monday, and we're not smiling by the end of it because they're giving us rejection. They're not giving us the time of day. They don't want to hear it. They're done with it. They've already got 40 other calls from 40 other mortgage pros the same day. So there's a lot of ways to do things that sound like they're supposed to be productive, but they're not productive because we're not strategic on how to actually break through the apathy, the resignation, the skepticism, and get their open heart and open mind such that they're willing to take that next step, which might be a meeting, which might be to learn more about how you can work together synergistically. The big idea is there's a lot of misconception of what's high value. People think, well, just calling clients is high value. If you don't have a meaningful reason to talk to these people and a meaningful reason to add value and a meaningful way to add value, it's not a high value activity, because you're going through the motions of being busy, but it's not necessarily productive. So in order to create a breakthrough, double, triple, quadruple, even quintuple your income in a very short period of time, we got to start to be discerning around, are we doing just what everyone else is doing because that's what they're telling us to do? Or are we doing something that actually really works, that actually gets straight to the cash and gets away from all the crap that doesn't work, which is wasting your time on going through the motions, thinking you're being productive, when really you're just being busy. So I don't know if that speaks to that at all, does it?
I think you just sort of spoke to that. So I loved that quote, we're too busy with the trivial many versus the vital few. So I mean, you said some super smart things. And by the way, everybody's nodding their head and going, right, right, right. I loved the takeaway that, yeah, we need to call our clients, but if we don't have something meaningful and intentional and valuable, why do that? I've got 3 phrases that I wrote down that I know I'm focusing on both from a leadership standpoint and just personally, you know, and one of them is just being radically authentic. You know, I first heard that term from Craig Sewing, the founder of American Dream TV, so he gets credit for it, but I love it. You know, by the way, I mean, that's one of the things that makes you so successful. You're radically authentic. I mean, anybody that follows you on Facebook, anybody that just listens to this interview, you're super unique and it's all you. And by the way, when I interview the best of the best loan officers, I mean, there are some exceptions, but most of them are just radically authentic people. You know, they just, they rock. And, you know, the other term, which I'm calling next level transparency, you know, just like, you know, there's this next level of transparency that consumers are demanding. I mean, when you look at some of the biggest success stories in our market today, you know, Uber, you know, Amazon, it's like next level transparency, you know, and so as mortgage professionals, we need to embrace that. And then the last, which is what started me down this rant, is just obvious value. You know, you, like everyone on this call, you want to be the obvious choice. Like when you get a lead, when you meet with a realtor, you want to be just like, obviously this dude's badass. You want to be the obvious choice, so you got to be obvious value. So with that said, what is some obvious value? Like you know, I might be getting ahead of where you want to go, but just what is some of the obvious value that loan officers can bring? And it sounds like we're kind of focusing on realtors, so let's go there.
So you bring up a few great points that are the mission critical preface and context in which you can have fertile soil for abundant productivity, fruitful productivity, where the roots can go deep and bear abundant fruit. And the first two that you talked about is transparency and authenticity. And what those really speak to is being real with you, being real with others, and finding your own zone of genius, your own authentic giftings, talents, abilities, where you can dance in your strengths, where when you're doing what you do best, you ignite, you're energized, you got pep in your step, you got sparkle in your eye, you're using your unique ability in a way that adds massive value because that's how you're wired. It's your God-given the gifts and abilities that allow you to serve humanity in the world at a level that no one else can, in a way that no one else can, because you're uniquely wired to do something unique, to fulfill a purpose that only you can fulfill. And so what that really, contextually, what that means is we got to find a way to navigate this hairball of responsibilities and tasks as a loan officer, from all the things from taking an application to finding a home for the loan, to processing, to underwriting, all that minutia, and at the same time finding the client. And oftentimes mortgage professionals are really, really, really good at getting the deal done when the lead comes in, but not so good at bringing the deals in and making it rain. So what I've found to be a unique trait of top producing mortgage professionals is their ability to know themselves, know thyself, that quintessential question that allows you to perceive your own unique gifting, and then to engineer your business to really dance in that zone of genius and to delegate all the rest of the minutiae. It's really about doing what you do best and get the best to do all the rest. So how do we tie this into real estate agents? Well, as you probably noticed, real estate agents don't give jack diddly squat about your great rates, great service, how you can close on time or close early and all that crap. That's a minimum expectation of just being in business, just so you know. And chances are you guys have already clued into that.
So real quick, and we've been talking about this a lot. I mean, the concept that you're going to tell a loan officer that, hey, I close, you know, speed's your value proposition. I close in 7 days, 10 days, whatever. I mean, not a unique value proposition. The fact that you have great programs and great rates, not a unique value proposition. Are you going to share some of those? Are you going to share, like, what are some bitchin' awesome,
absolutely
disruptive value propositions?
Absolutely. And so we'll start off with what it's not. It's not great rates. It's not great service. It's not that you can close on time or close early. It's not about you have your niche programs, although those might have some appeal. What I've found to be the game-changing shift that most mortgage professionals have no clue about that makes all the difference in the world is, number one, targeting the right real estate agents. So instead of going after anyone with a pulse who can fog a mirror who calls himself a real estate agent and just take anyone that will work with you, you're strategically, just like the hot chick at the dance who is not just going to throw herself on anybody, but strategically she's not aloof. She's not necessarily egotistical, but she's got high standards. She's not going to just hang with a scrub just because he's giving her attention. Same thing here. We're not just going to hang with a scrub just because they're going to give us attention, because we have an understanding of the unique value we bring to the table. So it all starts with the first step, which is understanding that when you have that unique value, when you have a kick-ass unique value proposition, it takes the same amount of time, the same amount of energy, if not less, to attract a top producing real estate agent who can send you all their business all the time, who owns the lion's share of the inventory in your market, with usually higher ticket average commission per deals because they work with more affluent clientele than their lower producing counterparts. It takes the same or less energy to attract that caliber of partner than it does to attract the bottom feeding, whining, sniveling, complaining, jelly donut eating low producer who's always complaining about the market and all the crap in their life. It takes the same or less time and energy to attract the high caliber person. So why not go for the best? We will rarely in life where will our results exceed that which we believe we're capable of and worthy of. If we don't believe we're worthy of and capable of the top producing partner, we won't attract them. So it starts with understanding that we can have it exactly the way we want it in life and in our business if we do not settle. Notice all this so far is mindset stuff. It's understanding that we can have it the way we want it if we don't settle. Now there's some equations, some components of the equation that we need to fulfill, like the kick-ass value proposition. But understand that once you have it, you can have it exactly the way you want it if you don't settle. So what are those unique values? It's not great rates. It's not great service. It's not closing on time or closing early. That's a minimum. What I've found to be true about what makes the most kick-ass, compelling, and mouth-watering unique value for a loan officer is understanding what's important to your partner. So rather than showing up and throwing up and giving a data dump of why you're so great and why you're so good and how you can close on time and why your rates are so good and all this and that, which is what most loan officers do on the first meeting, what I teach my clients to do, what I teach my loan officers to do in my programs is how to ask strategic diagnostic questions that help the real estate agent really open up and share their heart, share their life, share their challenges, their trials and tribulations, their aspirations, their goals, where they're leaving money on the table, their friction points, their frustration points, their pain points, and just simply listen and take notes. Notice that has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with your realtor. It has everything to do with the other person on the other side of the table, and really listening. Not just with your ears, but with your heart, and really listening to their tone, listening to the vibration of how they're speaking. You'll hear it when you hit a nerve. It's like you can hear the pain. You can hear the frustration. That's where the unique value is understanding what the pain is, and then having a heart-centered mission to do whatever it takes to solve those problems, even if you don't necessarily know how to solve them right away, because who you are as a value creator and a value giver is someone who always finds a way to add unique value, always finds a way to fill those gaps, always finds a way to make yourself irreplaceable and indispensable. So you don't have to necessarily have all the answers. I help my clients fill all those gaps and give those answers. But in the beginning, you don't have to have all the answers. It comes from a heart to serve. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. So I just want to make sure, like, if you're new in the business or you're struggling, you're closing less than 5 loans a month, I almost assure you, targeting is where it's at, making sure you're building out that list of targets. So I love the way you started there. Like, I thought you were just going to get right into tactics, right into, a value proposition. So, I mean, I like the way you got us there. I do want to know some of the questions, like, for example, I entered one of our all-time most viewed interviews is this one from Jeremy Forcier, just a a complete baller loan officer. In fact, I'm going to be sharing the stage tomorrow with Jeremy and Dan Keller. And by the way, if you're on this call and you're well, actually, I think it's sold out. So I think, we're doing a mastermind in Seattle. If you don't follow Dan Keller, you should follow Dan. I think Dan is on this call. If you're on this call, Dan, what's up, brother? I think he's checking out what we're doing. But everyone on this call, make sure you listen to this interview. I would love to know what you think some of the top five, or not five, what are some of the top questions loan officers should be asking realtors so that they can position themselves and have that conversation? Just riff off some great questions.
Sure. Yeah, I can give you tactics and strategies in terms of questions to ask. But as you talked about earlier, Dave, if you don't have that authenticity, if you don't show up with transparency and authenticity, none of the tactics and strategies we're talking about is going to help. If you're half-stepping, if you're pulling punches, if you're self-conscious, if you're worried about looking bad, if you're worried about saying the wrong things, and you're in fear mode, inadequacy mode, scarcity mode, none of this stuff is going to help. It's more about who you're being than it is about what you're saying. Because people are going to read your energy. You are whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, you're a merchant of certainty. Let me repeat that. Whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, you're a merchant of certainty. And realtors don't give a rat's ass about all the great stuff you bring if you don't bring certainty, if you don't bring confidence, if you don't bring passion, if you don't bring joy, if you don't bring a certain amount of mojo to the mix, none of it's going to matter. One of the reasons why Dave is such a baller in this industry is because he speaks with certainty. I'd like to think that one of the reasons why I have influence in our market is because I speak with certainty. So it's not so much what you say, but it's about your heart. It's about your intention to bring love, caring, curiosity, concern, and to speak with confidence and certainty. It's not about you, it's about the client. But you can't be half-stepping, you can't be pulling punches. How you show up is authentically you, period. And you have no shame in your game. Then there's questions that you can start to build on that foundation. Questions starting off with rapport. How long you been in the city? Born and raised out here? Do you move from somewhere else? I noticed on Facebook, you got a family. Tell me about, you got beautiful kids, by the way. My goodness, they got mommy's good looks. And so just get real with, being authentically open for rapport. Build that rapport. You cannot build a skyscraper on a shifty foundation with lack of rapport. It all is founded on rapport. And then from there, it's about, tell me about your business. Tell me about what you did last year. Where do you want to be next year? What's holding you back from getting there? What do you do for your open houses? Do you capture leads? Do you follow up with those leads? What do you do with your database? Are you following up with that database? Are you leaving money on the table in that database? How so? How's your listing presentation? What's your listing presentation conversion rate? How are you picking up new listings? How are you picking up new buyers? So again, notice you're kind of lifting up the hood on their business and looking at where they're leaving money on the table. Are you getting reviews? Are you getting reviews just on Zillow, or are you getting them on Yelp and Google? You're not getting them on Google, my friend, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, right? We need to talk about how we can hem up that hole in your marketing bucket, because I can tell you right now, you're leaving a lot of money on the table by not doing that. So notice, the better and more adept you become, the more sophisticated you become as a business leader, as a business owner, as a marketer, as a rainmaker, as a business development black belt marketer, you're going to be able to add that value to your realtors. So it's not so much about trying to have all the solutions. Just focus on how can you become the best marketer for your business. The better you get at marketing your business, the more you're going to be able to turn around and help your partners up level their marketing. Does that make sense?
It does. So first of all, I align on the targeting. I align on that whole, like, your energy and the confidence, attitude, the joy and love you bring to a conversation is so much more valuable than any specific question or any specific tactic. Aligned. So Dan Keller just posted this question, and he's like, okay, Doren, I call 40 realtors every Monday. It's a high payoff activity for me. Let's say 16 of the realtors that work with me and know me, the rest are agents trying to get a meeting with or invite to something. So with that said, what are you suggesting to do instead of calling realtors? What else do you suggest I do to get meetings with realtors without using the phone?
Great question. So I think, unfortunately, most mortgage professionals are fed a BS line that the way to cultivate realtors is just to pound them every Monday with the same lame ass pitch with no unique value proposition and just break through the resistance through persistence. And it's just a monotonous, repetitive routine of calling the same people every Monday. Now, if you're on the receiving end of that, how receptive would you be to those overtures? I don't know about you, but for me, I wouldn't give them a time of day. I don't care if it's 20 times you've called or 2 times you've called or 200 times you've called. If you have a lame ass value proposition and you're coming across just as every other Joe Schmo LO, I'm not giving you the time of day, period, especially if I'm a top producer. And chances are that's what you guys are facing, is that you're calling the same realtors and it's just the same old. And they're thinking, dude, when is this guy ever going to quit? My take is don't call the same realtors every Monday. Have a list of 50 to 100 top dog realtors that do 20 transactions or more a year and hit them up by text message, voicemail, and email with a pre-done campaign that dangles the carrot of I've got a kick-ass value prop. Okay. So for example, I've got more buyers than I got realtors to refer them to. Would you be open to getting together for coffee to talk about how we might work together to see if you might qualify for what I've got? Notice the difference in posture. Notice the difference in the value prop. I'm bringing business to you, not the other way around. You need me more than I need you. We're flipping the script entirely, right? We want to become irreplaceable and indispensable, and we want to have such a kick-ass value prop that they need you more than you need them. You don't need to be pounding them with the same boring call every Monday for that. All you need is to get one meeting, to do a diagnostic meeting. I call it a discovery meeting. And then at the end of the discovery meeting, we've got their pain points, their challenges, their tribulations, their goals, their frustration points, where they're leaving money on the table. And then and only then, if you feel like you've got a synergistic fit, then you invite them to a second meeting where you show them how you're going to solve the problems they have. A prescription for what ails them, custom tailored prescription for what ails them. I call that a show and tell meeting. That's where you're bringing a stack of awesome that's custom tailored for them, where you're bringing all kinds of unique value that no one else is even thinking about to plug those holes in their marketing bucket where they're currently hemorrhaging opportunity. And then once you bring them on as a quote unquote VIP partner, then you go narrow, deep, and rich with a bi-weekly meeting. I call it a what's next meeting, where you're continually peeling back the layers of the onion on, okay, we're going to do X, Y, and Z last week. Here's what we executed. High five, hallelujah, praise the progress. What's next? You're going deep, 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 adding more and more and more value. The problem with most mortgage professionals is you're trying to convert someone from dating to marriage in the first date. You wonder why it's not working, and you pound them with the same overture for a date every Monday, and you wonder why it ain't working. You don't need to do more than one date meeting. Then you move to, oh, you got a problem? Here's the prescription. Then, oh, you want to work with me? If you're going to roll with me, it works inside of my VIP partnership program. Here's what the VIP partnership program entails. Here's what you get if you qualify. You want to roll with me? You want to join the VIP partnership program? Awesome, let's do this. Now let's go narrow, deep, and rich. And if you're going to roll with me, and if we're going to do this, and if we're going to add this kind of unique value, I want all your business. But first, I'm going to prove to you I'm the real deal with results in advance. But where this is headed is we're a real partnership where we're all in. You're all in for me. I'm all in for you. I'm not talking about 3 business cards and I'll take what I can get where you throw me a bone once in a while. I'm talking if you want to roll with me and get this kind of value, here's how it's going to go. I'm going to be all in for you. You're going to be all in for me. And we're going to make both of each other rich, and we're going to serve a lot of clients, and we're going to kick ass, and we're going to dominate. And if that doesn't work for you, that's cool. I got a full backup of kick-ass top producing real estate agents that would be happy to take your place if you're not down with the program. I'm cool either way. You let me know. Notice the posture.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Right? Notice the posture there. It's I'm going where I'm committed to going. And you're either going to roll with me or your competition is. I'm cool either way. But I'm giving you a first right of refusal. So if you don't take this, I'm going to just go ahead and give it to your competition. You tell me, what's your preference? Right?
So love the attitude, love the bravado, love the confidence. You know, I align on multi-channel approach. Although I do advocate, I interview enough top producers, phone works. It's just that it's got to be a multi-channel approach. I mean, and I would even say it's phone, it's text, it's email, Facebook Messenger. It's if they do a lot of, like, I interviewed Seth O'Brien. Check out his interview. $100 million realtor in San Diego. He kills it on Instagram. So if I want to connect with him and do business with him, first of all, the concept that I'm going to call him one time, I'm going to text him one time, it's going to be a 2-year initiative to get a meeting with Seth O'Brien, $100 million producer. But, you know, for everybody on this call listening, hopefully the takeaway is targeting matters. By the way, I totally align with, you got to have a badass value prop. And I obviously agree, you know, that you're going to provide leads, great value prop. I'm going to help you convert at a level that's beyond what you're doing right now. And then, by the way, if you tell someone I can help you convert better, you better be ready to go and let me show you how. And when you show them how, if a total cost analysis is not part of the how, then you're...
It better be.
Well, and not because I'm Mr. Mortgage Coach. It's just, it is the best way to help a realtor convert a lead and create urgency with the lead.
And have that consultative approach. So you position yourself as that preeminent trusted advisor instead of just another loan officer scrub hawking mortgages.
So I'm going to throw out 2 more value props. And I want to see if you can give some, just so we can give the audience a lot of value props. And by the way, guys, we're going to give you these value props, but that doesn't mean you go say the same value prop to every realtor, because to the point you made earlier, it's like, I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to find out who you are. I'm going to find out what your pain is. And by the way, if you don't have a value prop that's going to crush it, timing's not right, man. Just move on. But if you do, present it. So we got leads, we got conversion. I like the idea, and we've been advocating a lot and seen a lot of success stories with, I'm going to turn your past customer database into gold. You know, most loan officers, you know, only get about 20% of the referrals from their past clients that they should. I get 100%. And the realtors that I work with, I can help you get more transactions and business out of your past clients than you can. And so just talking about how you're going to turn that past customer database into gold. And then I love, like, one of my favorite interviews last year was with Nicole Solari, who's doing paperless open houses. And the number of leads she's getting and the amount of conversion she's getting at open houses is like crazy. So the concept of, hey, I know you're doing these open houses, but I can help you get more leads and more conversion. What are some other ones? Anything else come to mind that's a good value?
Absolutely. Prop? Yeah, absolutely. And before I talk about that, I just want to mention one more piece of the previous question that I didn't mention, and that is, you don't have to do cold calling, because we have automated systems now where you can automatically send text messages and voicemails and emails to a pre-scrubbed hit list of top producing real estate agents and let the cream rise to the top, and just talk with the people who want to talk to you. So instead of you trying to push a soggy needle up a hill and chasing people, let them chase you. I got a client who uploaded 75 of the top producing real estate agents in his market. By accident, he meant to do the bottom 75 as practice, but he got it twisted. He uploaded the top 75. He booked 5 appointments with top producing agents in his market in 3 days without a single cold call. That's called working smart, my friends, not just working hard. And most of y'all are doing what I call caveman Cro-Magnon marketing, just smiling down with the same lame old pitch every Monday. And it ain't working, guys. You know it and I know it. So we got to start using technology to be able to automate that process. It's all about working smarter, not harder. Now, in terms of value props, there's a lot of different ways we can slice it and dice it. One of the very, fundamental value props is you just showing up with confidence, with certainty, because people secretly want to be led. People secretly want to be in the energy orbit of other people who walk through life with confidence and certainty and positive expectation. That's a unique value prop in and of itself, guys, that often you overlook. You're all about tactics, and meanwhile you're transmitting scarcity and fear and inadequacy and lack. Screw that. You show up with confidence, certainty. Forget people are going to want to be a part of your energy orbit just because you show up like no one else does. And then we can start talking about the marketing tactics. Like, okay, are you getting reviews? Are you getting them on Google? Do you have an automated process for that? Do you have an electronic method by which for people to register at your open houses? Do you have an automated system for following up with those leads? You don't? Okay, well, we need to fix that. Do you follow up with your past clients, prospects, and referral partners by email? How often? Okay, once in a blue moon. When are you sending out? Oh, it's cookie cutter crap from your company. No wonder they're not responding. People couldn't care less about cookie cutter crap from your company. They want to hear from you. They want some unique value from you. Okay, so tell me what else you're doing. Are you using direct mail to stay in front of your database? You're not? Okay, you're leaving money on the table there as well because all your competitors think that doesn't work. And if they're zigging, you want to be zagging. Okay, so let's talk about what else you're doing. What are you doing to be able to capture more of your listing presentations into signed listing agreements? Do you have a unique value proposition you do there? What do you do there? What's your percentage? So you get the idea. You can unpack different components of their database marketing. How are you getting buyers? What do you do to get buyers? Okay. Are you maximizing the amount of buyers you're getting from your listings? When people call on your listings, are you compiling that data or are they just calling your cell phone and bouncing? If they're just calling your cell phone and bouncing, you're leaving a lot of money on the table because you're not compiling a database of buyers. And listings are the best bait for buyers, right? And then we can talk about other things like, are you leaving it to chance when a buyer comes on? Are you leaving it to chance whether they have solid financing, or are you sending your buyer, whether they have a pre-approval letter or not, to your trusted partner so you can get a peephole into their financial situation and not hope but know that you got a real deal bona fide buyer who's legit, who's not going to waste your time and have the deal fall through at the 11th hour, like the last 10 times that happened over the last 10 years, right?
So Doren, I want to do, first of all, if you've got more ideas on this to unpack, go for it. But here's some stuff I want to get done in the next 16 minutes. So I want to do about 6 minutes on like channels of communication. For example, Jeff Zimfer just posted, he said, hey, Dan Keller, I'm seeing some traction using Facebook Messenger video sequence to agents where I'm, a sequence that looks like 3 times and then I'm getting the meeting. So that's an example, Facebook Messenger. So I'd like to just do 6 minutes of you sharing, call it marketing channel tactics. And then I want to make sure we have time to talk because you keep talking about showing up with energy, confidence. And by the way, I know a lot of loan officers. Dan Keller is one that you like to meet this guy. And he's just, I trust him. I like him. I want to be around him. I want to be led by this guy, Yeah. But there's a lot of people on this call that they're not there. And I want you to give them some advice on how to go from where you're at today, assuming you don't have the confidence, whether you're new in the business or whether you've been in the business for 10 years, but you've been doing the same year 10 times. Mm-hmm. I want to do at least 5 minutes of you saying, here's some things you could do to upgrade your energy. So first, marketing channel tactics. Unload some ideas on us.
Yeah, I like to use as many as possible. In my marketing, I use Messenger, I use LinkedIn, I use email, I use voicemail, I use text message, I use direct mail. We want to use as many media as possible. I love automation because automation allows you to build a systems-based business that sets you free as opposed to a glorified job trading time for money that enslaves you. So anytime you can automate the process, I'm a big fan of it. When it comes to, there's different phases, right? If you're wanting to just get the initial, what I call discovery meeting, that initial diagnostic meeting, voicemail, email, and text is all you need. You shouldn't need more than that, as well as a live outbound call to them. But you can let the cream rise to the top and let the people who are hot for what you got reach out to you first. So they're pre-selecting, self-congregating themselves as engaged and open and receptive. So you don't have to push the soggy noodles up the hill anymore. And a lot of people, you guys are wasting a lot of time sifting through a lot of gravel to find a few gold nuggets, and instead of having a system that pre-sifts all the gravel for you and just spits out golden nuggets all day. Why not just focus your time on the golden nuggets? Why waste your time sifting through all that gravel? You don't get brownie points at the bank for working longer and harder for your money, do you? There's no brownie points at the bank, no bonus points no, stars and badges for doing it the hard way. So I'm all about straight to the cash. So there's the initial meeting, but then there's also long-term nurture. So one of the things we do for our clients is called the Done For You Video Marketing Service, where we crank out 4 custom branded videos for your prospects and clients and realtors every month, 1 per week on different topics. For prospects and clients, it's like financial literacy, home maintenance, mortgage and real estate type tips. For real estate agents, it's stuff they actually care about. Most loan officers, they just dump everyone in the same bucket and send them the same cookie cutter crap and wonder why it doesn't work. Well, you're boring people to death. When's the last time you sold someone by being boring? When's the last time you bored someone into converting a sale or converting a prospect or converting a partner? None of the time. Nada, zilch, nothing. Why? Because people are bored enough as it is. They don't need your help. Unless they have insomnia problems, then maybe that's a benefit. But unless they're complaining about insomnia, you want to fascinate. You don't want to bore. So for real estate agents, we want to talk about stuff they actually care about, like how to get more listings, how to sell them faster and for top dollar, how to generate more buyer leads, how to get more repeat and referral business. So for our clients, what we'll do is we will build out these video marketing campaigns, and we'll build out the email campaigns to promote those videos in your CRM. So you own those as assets for the rest of your career. You just upload your subscribers, let it drip on your people while you sleep. So that's what I call long-term nurture. Once a week, they're getting a value add video so that you're building top of mind awareness. You can also post those on your LinkedIn, on your Facebook. If you have a Facebook group, that's another great media type. One of the reasons why I built Art of Mortgage Marketing Facebook group isn't just because I wanted to be benevolent and elevate the community and help you guys make more money and help you guys create a more abundant life, although that was certainly part of the motive. The other motive is because it's a hell of a lot more powerful to build a group like that, where there's that community and that synergy, where they're not just coming for me, they're coming for the overall cumulative value of the whole community, serving each other and collaborating amongst each other. And here's the cool thing. Unlike a Facebook page, where when you do a post, they have to be scrolling to see it. With a group, oftentimes it hits their notifications on their smartphone. So every time I post to my group, they're getting notified on their smartphone. So there's a higher level of engagement. And because of that affinity factor, the amount of engagement you get is massive. And you're able to use the power of that community to build that top of mind awareness, where every day I'm just doing a little tidbit, a little tip, and there's more like, know, and trust factor being built every day, just bit by bit, morsel by morsel. And it's hard to do that at the same level in any other media, frankly, aside from getting into a face-to-face seminar, battling through traffic and getting into a physical location. So consider, guys, creating a Facebook group for your realtors on mortgage, on real estate marketing or real estate success, Vancouver real estate success, Toronto real estate success, Los Angeles real estate success. And then you can build a community of people who see you as the leader and you're adding value to them every day.
And I love that, because it's, positioning you and your personal brand as, I am the leader of X. So everybody who's watching this, if you're watching it live, post below. If you're watching the recording, I want to know what your top 3 channels of communication are for realtors. And if it's email, text, and phone call, list it out. If it's Facebook groups, text, whatever it is, list your top 3. And it would be great if you did 1, 2, 3. What are your top 3 channels? Put it down below. And ideally you do this in the recording. And by the way, you're not doing this for me. You're doing this for the community. All the time I get comments, oh, this community is great. And thank you, Dave. It's not about me. It's for every person that asks a great question or answers in comments in a way that's valuable intelligence. It's you. So guys, do this for each other. Do this for the mortgage coach community down below. So let's do this. Let's assume that, I don't have a magnetic personality. I'm not confident. I'm listening to this conversation you had, and I'm like, okay, I'll get the targeting out. Okay, I've got some good value props. I've got some good questions. I'm going to watch Jeremy's 5 questions. What are some things we could just do to get in a better state of mind and to elevate our confidence and our aura? Ideas?
Yeah, great question. Just saw a question come through from a few people in the chat here asking about automated systems.
Oh, go for it. Hit that
Yeah,
button.
the one that I like is Howdy. You can go directly to their website, or if you don't mind me making a few pennies off the affiliate commission, I have an affiliate link here. It's Howdy, HOWDE.com/1867. Howdy, HOWDE.com/1867. That's my favorite for speed to lead. So you want to send text messages, voicemails, and emails to leads, to real estate agents. It even has a system to be able to add value to your realtors with an electronic open house guest registry system that automatically follows up with all of the guests at the open house with text message, voicemail, and email, and even elicits feedback for the homeowner or the home seller in terms of how their showing was. Kick ass. So again, howdy.com/1867. It's about 97 bones a month, worth every penny. So I just wanted to answer that question. So mindset, showing up with confidence, certainty, bringing your best and being your best and doing your best is always going to be inextricably linked to your emotional state. If you've tuned into personal development like Tony Robbins or anything like that, you know that to be true, that when you lock in on your ability to be able to unleash the champion within, you're going to get champion level results instead of chump level results. So the secret to life is finding a way to pour gasoline on the fire for your faith, your power, your certainty, your confidence, your resourcefulness, even in the face of challenges, tribulations, turbulence, checkered past, failures from your past, people who told you you'll amount to nothing, teachers, parents who gave you a tough time and planted seeds of doubt and inadequacy. So what I found to be true from my own experience, I mean, I grew up with my mom and my autistic brother. My parents grew up when I was, broke up when I was really young. I think I was about 3 or 4. I didn't have a father figure, although my dad was there on weekends, but I came into high school with a lot of uncertainty, inadequacy, self-doubt. I wanted people to love me just like every, high school kid. You want to belong, but I felt like I wasn't enough. I felt like my ears were too big, my head was too big, my nose was too big. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't funny enough. And I had to always try to pretend like I was someone other than I was. And I was actually coined the bathroom boy because while I thought I did a pretty good job at pretending that I was actually going to the bathroom and using it for the normal function that a bathroom would serve, I was actually in there trying to get my hair just right, because I figured if I could get my hair just right, people would like me and I'd be accepted and loved. And that was my high school and even into university. I was obsessed with self and I was narcissistic and I felt like I was not enough. And it wasn't until I started to own that I'm made for a purpose by a creative, perfect, divine, loving creator that created the heavens and the earth. And I just owned that I have a special plan and purpose for my life and God don't make no junk. And I just started to allow that truth to seep into my heart. And I started to own that if I want to show up and be my best, I got to work on myself. And I started to really own the fact that no one's going to do that for me. No one can do my push-ups for me. I got to do my push-ups for myself. That's when all that junk in my trunk, all that junk in my cranium about I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, blah, 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 started to dissipate. And I started to fill my mind with truth that I'm a warrior, I'm a champion, I'm a dream achiever, I'm a goal crusher, I'm a winner. I can do this. I got this. And I started to build a morning routine. Rarely will the quality of your results in life exceed the quality of your routines. And far too often we stretch for champion level results, but meanwhile we remain anchored in the habit force of chump level routines. And we wonder why we're perennially frustrated, because while our heart's ambition is to be elevated and to soar like a champion, we remain anchored to the mediocrity of old habits that are no longer serving us. And so I'm a big fan of a morning routine. I call it the success conditioning routine. where you start off the day right. Get up earlier, go to bed earlier, get up earlier, go get some exercise. Listen to something inspirational, motivational, educational. I call it learn while you burn. So while your hands are busy, your mind is free. You might as well pour some positivity into your mental factory while you're working out. Hit two birds with one stone. You feel great because you're taking care of your temple. You're getting more fit. You've got more energy. You're pouring gasoline on the fire. You're fueling your rocket. You feel great. You got pep in your step. You got sparkle in your eye. But you also feel good because you're learning from champions. They're downloading the champion level mindset into your software, into your hardware system. You're getting the software of a champion. And so you listen to champions while you exercise like a champion. You can't help after a matter of maybe a few months to start to feel like a champion, but you're going to start to feel better every day. And then all of a sudden, now you start in the office with some pep in your step. You feel like, man, if I can do this, starting off the day right like that with some good exercise and some good fuel, with some good healthy breakfast, all of a sudden you feel like you can win. When you start like that, everything else becomes easier. I also am a big fan of affirmations. So I actually read out affirmations before I start my day. It's like 5 minutes of my day. So I'll do things like, I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in ever increasing quantities through multiple sources of income on a continuous basis. Yes, get myself pumped. I know it's cheesy as hell, but I'll put more cheese in your wallet. So who cares? Would you like to be really cool and broke, or a little cheesy and rich? What's your preference? Right?
I love it. I love it. Well, you lack no ideas. You lack no energy. I love what you bring to the table. So this call's been great. So by the way, if you watch this call and you got value from this conversation, give it a like, share it with mortgage friends that you think could benefit from this. If you're a team leader, share this with your team, or share this with the people on your team that you think need it the most. So Doren, anyone that wants to connect with you, you already shared your group, share it again, feel free. And if they want to contact you and learn more about you and be part of what you do, how can the community at Mortgage Coach do more with you?
Absolutely. So again, our group, it's the largest mortgage marketing Facebook group on planet Earth, as far as I understand, just shy of 12,000 and growing day by day. It's called The Art of Mortgage Marketing. Check it out on Facebook. And if you have been listening to this, watching this, and you feel like, man, this is exactly what I needed to hear, and you're feeling inspired, perhaps challenged to up level your mindset, your marketing, up your game in 2019 and beyond, and you're looking for help, you realize that you're capable of more, you're deserving of more, but you're lacking the tools. You're lacking the marketing tools, the unique value proposition, the clarity, the direction, the blueprint. And you're feeling like you need more clarity on how to go from where you are to where you want to be. I invite you to take advantage of a complimentary breakthrough coaching call with either myself or one of my consultants, where we will literally lift up the hood on your business and look at where you're at now, where you want to be, and look at what you want to accomplish in the coming months ahead and what's holding you back from getting there. And if we can help you create a breakthrough, by all means, we will show you how. And if not, we'll be the first people to advise you to pass on our services. But either way, you'll leave the call with massive value, massive clarity, and chances are we'll have some fun. So if that sounds good to you, I invite you to check us out and book a call at mortgagemarketingcoach.com/apply. Again, that's mortgagemarketingcoach.com/apply, and book your breakthrough call with either myself or one of my consultants. And chances are it'll be the most valuable, impactful hour you've invested in your business in a very, very long time. So look forward to connecting with you guys. And Dave, thanks so much for having me, brother. This has been fun.
Yeah. Why don't you, if for folks that are watching the Facebook group, put a link down below so they can click on that. Hopefully you guys got tremendous value. Hopefully the most important takeaway you got is consistency. The difference between the best loan officers that I interview, it is consistency. They're delivering the total cost analysis to every family. If they're using Facebook, they're consistently using Facebook as a marketing channel. If they're using text, email, voice, and a CRM, they're consistently using their CRM. People always ask me, what's the best CRM, Dave? Two things. One, it has to integrate with Mortgage Coach, so yours is the second best. But the one you use, if you use the damn thing, it'll work, and you use it consistently. So take care, everybody. Have a fantastic week. Doren, really appreciate you, brother. Looking forward to our next call. Maybe we'll do something in your community. Let me know when.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to book something for sure, brother. Appreciate you. Thanks so much. And thanks for showing up. Awesome. So that we can lead our lives by seeing you as an example. As you soar, we have the opportunity to soar likewise. So thanks, brother.
I really appreciate what you said, by the way. But again, it's this awesome community that's bringing the value. So keep it coming, everybody. Take care, y'all.
Guys. Peace.
Peace.